Welcome to Radio Naira, North America's top South Asian Indian American radio station, Raleigh, Durham. You're here today with your host, Steve Rowell, on the Leader Show. We are here today. We are aired on 99.9 FM HD4, 1490 AM, and 101.9 FM. And today we're focusing on sustainability. We've got Earth Day coming up on April 30th. And we have with us today Kimberly Conley, our sustainability program manager for the town of Morrisville. Anita Punj, who is the director of NC Doc, the adult who runs this great youth organization, and a number of board members. I'm not going to name them all today, but we're going to maybe have them introduce themselves today on the radio. And I guess the first question I see Samia on and Coach R. I'm going to just sort of go down the list of whoever's on. But if one of you could explain to us a little bit about what Doc NC is and why sustainable living is so important a topic for us to address today. That'd be great.
So DocNC stands for Dedicated to Our Community of North Carolina, and it's a student-led nonprofit organization of kids from K through 12. And essentially every year we raise funds for different children organizations. So for the past 1.5 years, we've chosen a cause that's more environmental friendly. So we're focusing on sustainability. And DocNC feels that sustainability is such an important cause because it's a global issue, first of all. And we feel it's so important to learn about how we can help to better our environment for future generations. So we've been working with town of Morrisville and the town of Apex to raise and spread awareness about sustainability in our community so that we can encourage people to take the little steps to create a larger impact.
Okay, fantastic. And we're going to have Anita and Kimberly chime in at the end, but I want to now go to Vera. We've got a few other board members. So you've talked about Morrisville and Apex. Can you tell us a little bit about these events and what's going to be going on to educate folks about the importance of sustainability?
At the Apex EarthFest, the DocNC team has planned fun, educational events for kids and adults to showcase sustainable living. So there'll be local vendors, face painting, even a musical band and fashion show put on by our local high school.
Okay, great. And thank you so much. And when is the date for the Apex? When is the date for the event?
This will be on April 23rd from 12 to 4 p.m.
Okay, next weekend. Great. And where is it being held?
This will be in Apex downtown, actually.
Okay, wonderful. Looking forward to seeing it. Now, who else? We have Arsh. If you're on with us, when is the Morrisville event and what's going to be going on there in terms of, educating folks about the importance of sustainability? It's on April 30th. We got the Earth Day, and I think it's also the farmers market going on at the same time. Correct me if I'm wrong, but can anyone tell me about the Morrisville opportunity?
Arya,
Sorry.
Yeah, for sure. So with Morrisville, it's just going to be a really fun day. It'll be from April 30th in Morrisville from 8 to 12. We're going to have plenty of activities. There'll be like music, and we'll also have some more unique things such as a recycling center for things that you can normally not put in your recycling bin, but actually need to recycle, such as maybe broken electronics or batteries, things like that, which you can't put in your recycling bin. There'll also be like local vendors from like a farmer's market. So it'll be a really fun community event. And again, this is April 30th from 8 to 12.
This is fantastic. I mean, we're just so excited about this. And I mean, what are the, before I get to, I want Kimberly to maybe to give some observations about why she's so excited about this event, but I guess this is a free for all, whoever wants to take it, but what's the most exciting thing in your opinion? DocNC has been doing a lot of stuff over the last couple of years. What is the most exciting thing about this project for you all as young leaders in our community?
Well, DocNC will be having 3 different events here, and one of them is actually the Creation Station. It's all about turning items that people don't normally think about into things that kids will cherish. The DocNC team has planned various activities here, such as the plantable seed paper. It's a very interesting concept, and we'll have more like these there. Kavya, I think you also have a booth there. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So another
really fun booth that Dog and Sea is organizing is the Wishing Wall. And this will be a place where individuals will make their wish about sustainable practices that they promise to follow in order to save our Earth. So, for this activity, individuals will write down their wish related to sustainability on a big whiteboard. And then, if they wish to take a picture with their pledge, we have a really fun Earth Day themed photo booth area where they can take pictures with their wish. And after that, individuals will also take a piece of fabric and tie the fabric representing their wish on the designated wishing wall area. And this is a great way to make a promise and understand truly how important living sustainably and how making a small impact could go a long way in the community. I heard about the town talk session in Apex EarthFest. So, Somia, would you like to add on what that is?
Yeah. So our third and final booth at EarthFest will be the Town Talk booth. So this is where Doc and C members will give simple and easy to understand presentations about different global issues such as climate change and global warming. And we'll also have interactive games to go along with the presentations so that we're able to educate kids and then also engage them.
Okay, this is fantastic. I mean, and there's just been so much going on. So, the call to action then to the people listening to this show right now is that, just come to the Earth Fests, learn about these activities, get more involved with making your environment sustainable, follow what's going on in Apex, in Morrisville, and Cary. And I'm going to leave it now. I mean, Anita, we want to thank Anita for organizing this always. Is there any insight that you want to share with our listeners today?
I think this is the kids event and I would let the kids talk, but the main goal of Doc and Sea is to work hand in hand with our local community people. And the best way is to working with our town of Morrisville and town of Apex. We are thankful for their support in helping us creating awareness and educating our local community people. So that has come very handy. This is the first time Apex and Morrisville organizing Earthday Celebration. So we will request each community resident to come out, have fun, enjoy, and in a great fun learning way, you will be learning more about how you can live, like making changes in your habit and live more sustainable sustainable life, and which will impact our next generation.
Okay, Anita, thank you so much. And before we let the kids close out, Kimberly, you're doing so much great stuff in Morrisville. What you continue to generate so much excitement, but what's so exciting to you about this Earth Fest, with Apex and of course Morrisville, and what excites you about working with this youth group, Doc and Sea, but also the future of our sustainability efforts?
Yeah. Thank you, Steve. I'm happy to be here. Pardon me, the sustainability program here in Morrisville, we think of Doc and Sea as sort of an extension of our staff. I mean, that is how helpful this group of kids are. They're creative, they're hardworking, they have initiative. I could go on and on about how wonderful this group of kids are. Our Earth Day celebration does coincide with the Western Wake Farmers Market. It's at the Healthy Food Hub on April 30th from 8 to noon. We have a ton of different giveaways. We're really kind of focusing our effort on pro-pollinators. So I can't even tell you how many different seed packets to give away. We have reusable tote bags with a sustainability message on it that we'll be giving out to the first 250 guests of the Earth Day celebration. So I encourage folks to go ahead and take a look at our website, townofmorrisville.org. And we're right on the homepage. If you go to Earth Day Celebration, you can also learn about what we're doing for Green Day, same day, which is we're doing a whole drive-through recycling event. So we're kind of combining these two really important events into one for maximum impact. So thank you for the opportunity.
Well, this has been wonderful. One last time, there's two things I want to do before we end the show. First is to just have one of the board members, youth board members, talk about just the detail of the Apex event and the Morrisville event, which would be great. And then I've got one last question I'm going to ask each of you. But anyone want to give me an answer to that one of just the details for those listening to the show?
Yeah, absolutely. So Apex EarthFest will be happening at Apex Downtown on April 23rd from 12 to 4 p.m. And we will also be having our Morrisville EarthFest happening Morrisville Downtown around Town Hall Drive. I believe it will be from 8 to 12 on
Okay,
April.
great. Well, we look forward to that. I guess my final question to each of you, and I'm copying Mark Rotterman, who runs a show called Front Row on PBS. He always asks, what's the most underreported story? But if you had to sum up, what is something about sustainability that you've learned that you didn't know before Doc NC, something that others could learn? 1 or 2 words or less, or just anything, just to sum up. It's a little bit of a test. Sometimes in media, you don't get completely live. So if you can't do it, don't worry, but I'm just preparing you for the future if any of you go into media. So
I will say that one thing that I definitely did not learn before this sustainability projects that we've been planning throughout the year, just clearing out your emails for like 5 minutes every day. I know that it can be really tedious, but just taking maybe 2 to 5 minutes clearing out your emails can actually save a lot of like CO2 emissions that are,
oh,
yeah.
wow, that's very insightful. Wow, I learned something from you today. That I'm going to clear out my emails before my council meeting. Kavya, anything that you have to add? 1 or 2 things you think that we don't talk about, the unreported story for sustainability? What do you think?
Something that I didn't know before is just how like little things that you can do in your community or at home, or just, you know, like either composting or anything like that could really go a long way in your community, even if you think it might not be making a big impact. So yeah.
Okay, great. And anyone else, the final person or 2, anyone have anything to add?
I wanted to add that like being sustainable on a daily basis doesn't have to be this big taxing lifestyle change. It can be small individual or community level steps. For example, I'm leading the Creation Station booth at these fests, and I've recently learned about upcycling, where you basically just take old things and it's basically like doing a craft. You just turn it into a new thing. And it's a really fun way to both reuse old materials and just have like trinkets and stuff that you can use around the house. And
Fantastic.
and you're being sustainable.
Fantastic. My final question, I'm going to end with Kimberly Conley. First of all, we want to thank Doc NC for all the great things you're doing in our community. You're setting such a great example for even adult leaders and any leader in our community of things that we can be involved. In our community, I wanted to ask Kimberly where people can go to learn about Town of Morrisville's sustainability initiatives. Can you just give us a URL that people can go and see what the town is doing?
Sure, Steve, thanks. So they can go to townofmorrisville.org and type in sustainability in the search function, and that'll take you right to our sustainability page. We're trying to do our best to keep the community updated on all of the various things that we're doing. We're actually getting ready to start our second renewable energy solar array, which will be at our public safety building. So please do check in there, and you can kind of keep tabs on what we have going on. And I wanted to share just a little tidbit about food waste. Try to buy only what you can consume, because food waste is seen as one of the best ways to actually reduce emissions. Up to 1/3 of the food that we buy goes to waste. So, and it actually contributes 10% to our global emissions. So, yeah, only eat what you should. Try not to throw it away.
Well, I want to thank you all for being with us today, and we want to, thank you all. You can, learn more about Doc NC and all these initiatives. Get involved. You've been listening to Radio Naira. Before I close out, I did want to wish everyone a happy Easter weekend, and also remind everyone that next week is National Volunteer Week for the AmeriCorps, and we're having our Morrisville Chamber of Day of Service on April 20th. So get out there, help your community, learn about the AmeriCorps. And as we get to a new normal, it'll be good to continue to see everyone outside in person. And you've been listening to Radio Naira RDU, Raleigh Durham, 90.9 FM HD4, 1490 AM and 101.9 FM. Thank you all very much. And we'll be back next week for another edition of this wonderful show. Thank you all for all that you do.